What's up, guys? It is Frankie here. It is week 13 of the 2021 NFL season. It's time to make some predictions. We are going to pick every game except for the Washington and Seahawks game because those two teams haven't played yet. Other than that, here are the games for week 13. The Thursday night game, the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. The Cowboys are 6-point favorites. Both of these teams coming off very difficult Thanksgiving night losses. You have Dallas, who it's just a rough spot for them. They've lost 3 out of 4. They've lost 2 in a row. Tough loss against the Raiders on Thanksgiving night. The offense, the running game is weak right now. The defense is a complete liability, whether it's all the penalties. They've been flagged 7 times in 8 games this year, including 14 for 166 on Thursday against the Raiders. And then you have the offense, and you also have the big plays that they give up over and over again. It's just, and I know they have a lot of injuries. I know they're without Cooper, they're without Lamb, they're without Lawrence, they're without Gregory. But there's just so many problems. This is not the same team that we saw at the beginning of the year. They've really crumbled here, and it's rough to see. But thankfully, if Dallas wants to turn around their season, they're going up against a team that is probably even more of a train wreck than they are. New Orleans has lost 4 in a row since Jameis Winston was hurt. Trevor Siemian has not been a good replacement. Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram were out this game, and they just got completely trounced by Buffalo. You have to wonder now, are they going to go to Taysom Hill? I think even if they do go to Taysom Hill, it's not going to be enough. It's sad to see what's happened here with New Orleans. The team was 5-2 and looking like a serious contender, and then Jameis gets hurt, and they really have not delivered since. Looking at this game, I got to roll with Dallas. I think even though both of these teams are struggling, both of these teams are problems, I think you have to look at Dallas here as if there's a time for them to turn around their season, it's now. And New Orleans is in much worse shape than they are. So this is the perfect time for Dallas to come alive, to get going. I mean, you got to hope that the running game does something. But I think, again, they're going up against a depleted New Orleans team. So I think their offense will be able to do enough. And maybe they'll be able to stop them here on defense. At least, again, if you can't stop Siemian or Taysom Hill, then you're in for. Then it's not going to be good for you. So I think this is the time for Dallas to turn it around. They're 6-point favorites. I like Dallas in this game. Give me the Cowboys -6. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers are 10-point favorites. Big time win for Tampa Bay yesterday. Going in there and hanging in there against Indianapolis. You have Leonard Fournette with the game-winning touchdown late. Fournette had an unbelievable day yesterday. 131 yards on 24 touches, 4 touchdowns. In a game where Tom Brady was not at his best, but it didn't matter. They were still able to find a way down the field. They were down 10 in the second half. The defense came alive, made some big plays. And so now, Tampa's looking good here in terms of this is the part of the year where we saw last year, where this is the time for Tampa to turn it around, or Tampa to become a legitimate championship contender. Because it wasn't until this point of the year, last year, that Tampa really started to come alive and look like the best team in football. And we'll see if they can do that here. Even though Tampa has been very good this year, this is the time for them to really break out. And we'll see if they can do that here, especially against an awful Atlanta team. Right now, the Tampa Bay would remain the 3rd seed if they continue this pattern. Atlanta, I mean, nice win against Jacksonville, I guess. There's nothing really impressive about that. Good to see Cordell Patterson, play well after his return. 100-yard rushing game, scored 2 touchdowns, but it's not like we're expecting anything here. 10-point favorites. It's time for Tampa to turn it on. It's time for the offense to come alive, and I think they're going to do that here in this game. I'm liking the Buccaneers in this game to destroy the Falcons. Give me Tampa Bay -10. The Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears. The Cardinals are 7-point favorites. You have Arizona coming off a bye, looking after the week off last week, getting through the tough Kyler Murray injury stretch. They did that. I believe he's supposed to play here in this game. That is the biggest thing about Arizona's season, that they were able to get through the bad stretch without Kyler Murray, and that you hope he's healthy now, and he's got 6 more games here in the playoffs, and you hope that he's able to go back to his old Kyler Murray. Colt McCoy, who I forgot was in the league, did a great job, 328 passing yards. He's got a great addition there in Zach Ertz. That I think those two are going to be really great to play with throughout the year. And they did a nice job. They're going into Seattle, winning that game, and now coming off a bye. They're up against the Chicago team, who there's nothing impressive about being Detroit, but they did it. Andy Dalton was the first Bears quarterback to throw for 300 yards since Nick Foles last year. That's rough. It looks like they're on the verge of firing Matt Nagy. I don't think they're going to do it this week, but it looks like by the end of the season they're finally going to move on from Nagy, which I think is fine. I think he's been an absolute disaster here the last few years. But if Kyler Murray is healthy, like we expect, if he's healthy, if he's back, I think Arizona comes into this game, goes into Chicago, and they just destroy them. We're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see a Murray that's gonna be one out that wants to be out there. We're gonna see him revved up, fired up, and I think he's gonna really torch the Chicago defense here. A Chicago team that really has nothing to play for and looks like it's already given up on the coach. So all of that to me says an Arizona victory is on the horizon. Give me the Cardinals -7. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. Chargers, tough performance yesterday. Justin Herbert looked like he forgot how to play football. It was really, really sad to see. Sacked 3 times, threw 2 interceptions. Everything that we've known that we've expected to come that we've expected from Justin Herbert was not there at all. It was just terrible performances in that game. It just looked like he was completely lost against that Denver defense, which is a problem there. I don't think that's consistent though. I think there are good amounts back here in this game. I did have to pick 2 upsets. I did have to pick 2 underdogs here in this game because I was looking at it and I'm like, there isn't really a good underdog pick for me here in this week. But I figured, all right, I'll take this one, and figured why the heck not. Cincinnati though, nothing against Cincinnati because that was an incredible performance against the Steelers. It looks like Cincinnati's on the verge of breaking their 6-year playoff drought. They sweep Pittsburgh. I mean, they were, just for the minute 1 of that game, they were in complete control. Joe Mixon has been awesome to watch. 117 rushing yards in the first half. He finished with 165. One of the most dominant performances we've seen from the Bengals. Burrow, Chase, everybody in there. The offense has really got it going right now. And this is nothing against them. Again, I feel like I had to pick 2 underdogs in this game, and I was like, all right, who's one of them? I'll roll with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a very good team, and I think they will bounce back. Nothing against the Bengals, because I think the Bengals will be fine. And just in this game, I could see Herbert and company wanting to prove something after that terrible performance yesterday. I think we could see that here in this game against Cincinnati. 2.5 points. It's going to be a fun, interesting game, but in the end, I think the Chargers win it. Give me the Chargers +2.5. The Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The Vikings are 7-point favorites. You have Minnesota just not being able to hold on there against San Francisco, which is not a surprise. I mean, it's the Kirk Cousins Vikings. They're always going to be very inconsistent. They're always going to be really very weird. I mean, at the end of the first half, you let the Niners go down 85 yards, take off 8 minutes. You let San Francisco score twice early. It just never looked like in this game that we're going to be able to compete. I don't know why I took the Vikings. That's completely on me. I'm sorry. And now that you've lost Dalvin Cook, it just looks more difficult here. And I mean, the last time you beat them, and now they're taking on a Lions team who the last time they faced them, they won it on a last-second field goal. So I do think the Lions are going to pull out a win here in the next 6 weeks. I do think they're going to get something. I just don't know when, and I'm not going to be the person that predicts it. Because I thought this was the game to do it. All right, they did cover the spread against Chicago, which good job. But, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Dan Campbell. I just don't feel like he's a very good coach. Just a lot of short passes, just so conservative. It's like, dude, you're 10-1. Just please, just show a little something. Unless you're already playing for your job, unless maybe Detroit's like, all right, this guy can't coach. I always feel like if a coach goes 0-16 or 0-17, he should lose his job, no matter what season he's in. And I thought that was the mistake the Browns made with bringing back Hugh Jackson. I feel like the Lions may need to do that with Dan Campbell. If he wins one game, then not. But if he doesn't, then I wouldn't bring him back. I just think no wins in a season is impossible to come back from. But in this game, Minnesota should win this one. Despite if there's a team to do it, it's going to be the Vikings. If there's a team for Detroit to win, it's going to be the Vikings. But I say in this game, I think Minnesota dominates. Minnesota controls. And I'm not going to be the one to pick the Lions. Give me the Vikings, -7. The New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 3-point favorites. Dolphins look great here. I don't know what the heck happened, but the Dolphins look great. The defense has been stepping up. This is finally the Dolphins team that we've expected. I just feel like, though, it's just a little too late for this Dolphins team to do anything that's going to matter. I just feel like it's way too late in the season. I think they'll win this one. I think they'll be 5 in a row, but I don't think that after that, I'm not sure how many more wins they're going to get. And the Giants beat Philadelphia. I mean, Philadelphia did really nothing, and the defense really has stepped up. So this is 2 good defensive matchups here. But in this game, a game that I really don't care about that much. Unless Miami wins, and Miami needs one more win to maybe show me something that they're a legit team here. But I also think it's a little too late. But 3 points at home. Daniel Jones is the Giants quarterback. I'm not sold. I'm rocking the Dolphins here. Give me Miami -3. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. The Eagles are 7-point favorites. That was a pathetic loss from Philadelphia. That was really disgraceful. And I know there have been injuries, but gosh, they look terrible. The offense completely dead. The Jets did beat the Texans, so credit. Robert Saleh has now won more games in his last season than Adam Gase did last year. Or Robert Saleh has won more games in his first season than Adam Gase did in his last. Congratulations. But I think that's it for wins. If the Eagles can't beat the Jets here, then they're in big trouble in terms of where this team is going. 7 points. I know the Jets are at home, but the Eagles are a much better team. Not much better, but they're better. So give me the Eagles here, -7. The Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. The Colts are 8.5-point favorites. Another game in which the Colts, you think, all right, here they come. They're gonna come, and no, it's not it. It's not it. It's just even though look, they showed a lot of promise here in this game. And they did come back. They were down 10 in the third quarter. They were so close, and they could not protect the lead. It just feels like that happens. It just feels like that happens so much. How many times this year they've had a double-digit lead, and they can't close it out. But I mean, look, Jonathan Taylor, you still have him, so it's not like this team is completely dead here. But Carson Wentz dropped back 27 times yesterday between late in the first half and early in the fourth quarter. 27 straight times. Just give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. I just didn't understand that. Or just, even though I guess they figured, well, Tampa's got a great run defense, so they're going to be able to stop Indianapolis. But I feel like at some point, you can't ask Carson Wentz to drop back 27 times. He's Carson Wentz. You got to try to run the ball here a little bit. And if the Colts are going to make the playoffs, it's not going to be because of Wentz. It's going to be because of Jonathan Taylor, I feel like. You don't want to ride the horse too much, but you want to ride him at least. And the Colts should win this game because they're going up against the Texans, 2-9. I have nothing good to say about this team. Absolutely nothing at all. Sad. I mean, this team was in the playoffs not too long ago. 2 years ago? They almost contended last year. It's been a swift fall from grace for Houston. This is the chance for Indianapolis to come alive. This is the chance for Indianapolis to make a stand. And show that, I mean, I guess not, because it's like, oh, they beat another bad team. Like, they've only beaten one good team all year. So this is the time, okay, beat a bad team. And don't blow. I mean, again, they blew the leads against Baltimore, Tennessee, the Bucs. Don't get a huge lead and then blow it, because we've seen that way too many times from this team. But I gotta like the Colts here in this game. 8.5. I'm trusting Houston. No, give me the Colts -8.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 13-point favorites. I know the Rams are in the tough spot here. That we looked at this Rams team like this is a team that's going to contend for a Super Bowl, and they've now lost 3 in a row. Maybe it's the curse of OBJ, man. I mean, I know it's not. I know he did score a touchdown yesterday, but I'm telling you, everywhere OBJ goes, something happens. Something happens where the team is just not quite where they are. Stafford's thrown 3 straight games with a pick 6. If he has one more next week, he'll tie the record by Matt Schaub, which is never a company that you really want to be involved with. 2 turnovers. The defense has really just stumbled here. I mean, I guess it's Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. So you couldn't really be that angry about it, but I was expecting something from the defense here, and they really couldn't get anything going. And the offense really needs to figure out the problem here, win the turnover battle, stop throwing pick 6s. Stafford threw a fumble yesterday. And again, there were a couple big plays in this game. They had the 79-yard touchdown to Van Jefferson. They had the 54-yard touchdown to Beckham. But it's just not consistent enough. And where's that team that we saw here? Where's the team that we saw in Week 3 where they beat down the Buccaneers? Where's that team? They've had only one victory over a team with a winning record. They now, the last team to win or reach a Super Bowl after losing 3 straight games was the 2012 Baltimore Ravens, the Ray Lewis retirement tour, which I think is the only reason why the Ravens won that Super Bowl. So this is the time for the Rams to do it here against an awful Jacksonville team. And look, it's not going to make people think, oh, the Rams have got it figured out, but at least, okay, get a win. That's all you got to do, get a win and keep it going here for the postseason run. Jacksonville is just, the biggest surprise here is that Urban Meyer didn't take the USC job. I thought for sure it's like, all right, I'm out. This is not working out. I'll go to USC if they offered it to him, but I guess I'm starting to wonder maybe Jacksonville might keep him. I don't know why they would do that, but I'm starting to think, you know what? They might sit there and go, we've learned a lot here. I mean, 12 losing seasons in the past 14 years for Jacksonville. It's crazy to think that this team was in an AFC Championship game also not too long ago. Bizarre team. A bizarre, weird team, that Jacksonville, who have just been in just 15 years of just pure mediocrity. Even worse than that. And now they have Dan Arnold injured. Look, if this isn't the chance for the Rams to come alive, if this isn't the time, we're heading to the big party of the season here. We're heading into playoff time. It's time for teams to step up. It's time for teams to show what they're made of. And it's time here for the Rams against an awful Jacksonville team. It's time for them to show that, all right, we can still win this. We can still be contenders here in the Super Bowl. Even though this win wouldn't do anything to make you think, all right, they've turned the corner. At least do something here. This is the game to do it. Give me the Rams, minus 13. The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are 3-point favorites. Baltimore controls their own destiny for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Not that that matters at this point because there's been so much parity right now. They now have the top spot after beating Cleveland here yet last night. And it was not Lamar Jackson's best game, even though he had an amazing play, an amazing touchdown. 4 picks. They're the first team in the last 7 seasons to win when their starting quarterback has picked off 4 or more times. It was really the Ravens' defense which really shut down Cleveland's running game. It forced 2 turnovers. That was the reason why the Ravens won this game. And look, I really like Lamar at times, but there are times where he's just very inconsistent. And they've only scored 2 offensive touchdowns in the last 2 games. They've led the NFL in scoring the last 2 seasons, but in the last couple games, they've struggled in the red zone. Just again, some terrible interceptions from Lamar here in this game. I still believe in him, but it's not great for him right now. That was a rough spot for him, and but they are still looking to win their 3rd AFC North title in 4 years, so that could be good here for the Ravens, and it'd be good to do it here against Pittsburgh, who one of their worst losses we've seen, the worst loss we've seen from the Steelers in about 5 years in terms of largest margin of defeat. They lost by 31. The defense, they're a supposedly elite defense. Well, I guess, with Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt coming back, and they let Joe Mixon just run all over them. They only scored 10 points. Ben just looked blah, a pick 6. The Steelers are 5-1. They can bounce back, but they do have 3 AFC North opponents here, so that's not easy in terms of the Ravens, in terms of the Bengals. The Browns might be, depending on how Baker Mayfield is. But the Steelers team has not really shown that fire here in the last couple games. And maybe Mike Tomlin at this point is wishing he did take the USC job. Probably not, but it just, they couldn't do anything. Offense, defense, special teams, complete annihilation from Pittsburgh here in this game yesterday. And I'm liking Baltimore here in this game. I think we're gonna see the return of Lamar. I think he was beaten up because of the illness. Let's hope that whatever that was illness that he has, let's hope that he resolves it. Let's hope that he's back to 100% tomorrow or next week. And I think in this game against a struggling Pittsburgh team, I think we're going to see the return of Lamar here, the return of the Baltimore offense. If you can't do it against Pittsburgh, again, a team that let Joe Mixon, who is a solid running back, but let Joe Mixon just completely annihilate them, and an offense that really looked bad. You can't do it there. Where are you going to do it? So I think the Ravens here in this game, it's a 3-point game. And it's not like they didn't beat Cleveland yesterday, but it was a very unimpressive win. That was one of the least impressive Thursday night games or Sunday night games I've seen in a long, long time. This is the time to do it. This is the time to bounce back. And I think they'll do it here. Give me the Ravens, minus 3. The Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. I know this is going to shock a lot of my bettors out there, my people who follow this channel, but I am taking the Chiefs. I said that if the Chiefs could put together a nice streak here, I would pick them, and I have, although a part of me is a little bit nervous because you're coming off a very impressive victory for Denver. Despite all the injuries, them beating the Chargers like that, having a dominant defensive performance like that, the way they were able to silence Justin Herbert and the Chargers, they're now at 6-5. You just have so many injuries right now with this team. You just have it's just impossible to wonder how they're going to fix all these. How are they going to be able to deal with all these? Their only regular starter playing on the offensive line was Lloyd Cushenberry. That's it. The Broncos were down to their 3rd left tackle. You have Gordon with his hip injury. Bridgewater's got a lower right leg injury. It's just all adding up here. And that's what made that victory against the Chargers so impressive, but I'm just wondering at some point they've got to collapse here. At some point they got to fall apart. Maybe it won't be against the Chiefs. Maybe this is the game they beat the Chiefs, and I have to sit there and go, why did I take the Chiefs again? But yeah, I said that if the Chiefs won 3 straight games, if they covered the spread 3 straight games, I would pick the Chiefs. They did. And so now I got to ride back on the Chiefs bandwagon here and hope that they've turned it around, hope that they figured out their problem, hope that they fixed it here. Their defense is back to being legit, the way they silenced Dallas last week. Dallas entering the game led the league in scoring, was a top 5 team in rushing and passing, and they really silenced them. The Chiefs' pass rush looked excellent. Chris Jones really leading the charge. And the new-look Chiefs here, a Chiefs that is way better on defense, that's the kind of Chiefs team that, because at the beginning of the year, their defense was just awful, just horrendous. And then they're starting to pick it back up here. They're starting to pick it back up, which is important. And now you got to sit here and wonder, can they cover a spread when I pick them? 9.5 points, it's a huge number, but I'm liking this New York Kansas City team. Although if they lose to the Broncos again, I'm going back on the don't pick the Chiefs bandwagon. So I'm risking it here. It's a risky pick, but I'm liking the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs bounce back. I think it's time for the Chiefs to come back and return to being the Chiefs that we all think they can be. Give me the Chiefs -9.5. The Monday night game, the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 3-point favorites. It's time to look at New England as one of the best teams in the NFL. And I know people started to figure that out here, but I mean, I thought that was going to be a closer game against Tennessee. And Tennessee, they got annihilated. They annihilated Tennessee. Even though their defense was not at their peak. I mean, they allowed 200 rushing yards, but they got big turnovers. Mac Jones continues to be a real solid option for this team. Their offense continues to light it up. 9 of their first 10 drives resulted in either a field goal or a touchdown. I mean, there's a lot of veteran-like poise, I guess you can say, from Jones. He just has that veteran presence, and maybe it's being coached by Saban and Belichick that's able to give him that he's already wise beyond his years. And I mean, if there's two guys to learn from, it's learn from Saban in college and learn from Belichick in the NFL. Those are the two best guys to do it from. And now they take on Buffalo. Again, Buffalo 3-point favorites here. And Buffalo coming off an awesome win against New Orleans. They showed us that they're back. Even though Allen threw 2 picks, it was not their best performance, but they still were able to fight against New Orleans. They were still able to destroy them there. They were great on offense, on defense, and losing Tre'Davious White's going to be rough, but I think they'll still be fine. I'm still buying into Buffalo. Even though it's been a roller coaster of a year, I still have faith in the talent of this team. I still have faith in that core group of guys. I think that'll be enough here to carry them into the playoffs. But I had to pick a second underdog, and even though this is not a great week for underdogs, I was like, you know what? New England's looking like a solid good team. They're looking like a solid option here. It's 3 points on the road. New England is on fire. Buffalo, you're never really sure about. It's a Monday night game. It's a division game. Last year around this time was the division game where Buffalo beat New England, and it was like the passing of the torch. New England looking to take the torch right back from them. Like, no, we're not giving you this already. It's our time again. New England's a 3-point underdog. I'm liking New England here in this spot. I think we see another great performance from Jones. I think the Bills will be fine, but I think New England will be able to do just enough, especially on defense, to beat the Bills here. It'll be a fun game. It'll be a great divisional matchup. But in the end, I think New England takes it. Give me the Patriots +3. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back later throughout the week with more videos, more NBA videos, of a NFL video. I'll have Washington and Seahawks predictions tomorrow. We'll have college football predictions, college football playoff live reaction on Saturday. Sunday. A lot of great stuff that we're looking forward to here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe for more. Take care and God bless.